right, welcome back to Sunrise Daily. Well, this morning, as you've seen there, we've got Dr. Musa Adamu Aliyu, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. He is the Chairman of ICPC and former Attorney General of Jigawa State. Good morning. Thank you for coming on today, sir.
Good morning, Chamberlain. Good morning, Murphy.
Good morning.
Well, there's just a lot about this because sometimes when people hear ICPC Chairman,
yes,
and then some see you know, different people have different perspectives depending on what they're doing and where they are.
That's true.
Citizens will feel, yes, get them, make sure you deal with them.
Yes.
But some others behind the scenes who are there will say, okay, well, let's see. Better stay away from our side. You know. But talk to us about your role, your position. How do you feel as the chairman of ICPC in this country? Because sometimes it looks as if we're saying, yes, let's fight corruption. And at the same time, it also looks as if, well, I'm not sure we really want to do this. What goes through your mind as the chairman?
Good morning, Chamberlain. Really, as the chairman of ICPC, I know that is a very heavy burden on me because the role given to me is that to lead an anti-corruption agency, which has the responsibility of prevention and also enforcement around issue of corruption. And if you look at the challenge of corruption in this country, it has been with us right from colonial times up to this time. I don't know whether you were able to read the Fulton Sutton Committee report and the Justice Coker report. You will see that from those reports, it was clear, even during colonial time and thereafter, that there were challenges of corruption. There were allegations of diversion of public funds, and all these issues that has been bedeviling us now. When you come up to the time of Murtala in 1975, he made that decree of corrupt practices. That issue has shown that there was the problem of corruption. When you come down to 1999 up to 2000, that is with the coming of ICPC and also the coming of ONCAC, EFCC came in. So the problem has been there always, and whoever is given the role to chair this kind of commission, Mr. Chamberlain, I want to tell you, it's a very, very heavy task because the challenge is daunting and you need three things like I keep on saying. One, you must be knowledgeable. Two, you must have integrity. And three, you must be courageous. Because the challenge is so huge that if you don't have these three things, you cannot be able to tackle it. So, if I can answer your question, that the task is not easy, it is really difficult, but it is doable.
So, those three things notwithstanding, I mean, occupying that seat now, you definitely will see things differently than when you were not in that position.
That's true.
So, for you, from what you've seen, in terms of people's perception about corruption, what do you see? Do they actually say that, well, yes, we shouldn't be doing this? Or do people think, no, this is normal life? What have you noticed about people's perception to what corruption really is?
Yes, people perceive towards corruption in this country. You find that most of things that are not right, Nigerians are looking at it as normal. Because many of things that we are doing, let me give one example. That one thing I noticed is that pressure, most public office holders, even me as chairman of ICPC, I receive pressure. And pressure not only within the government, even pressure from outside. Because people feel like once you are in government, you can do anything. You have unlimited access to fund. You can help them to get job without following due process. You can get them to get contracts through circumventing the procurement processes, and so on and on and on. And if you refuse to hit to what they want, they will look at you as, this person is very difficult, this person is awkward, this person is like he's not even Nigerian, he's, you know. So I can say that some of the things that we are doing, they have even become a culture. Because it is now normal for somebody to come and say, Chairman, please help me to get employment in so-so agency and so-so agency. Or let me use all the corrective agencies. And if you don't do it, they say, no, you don't want help. So even the help which people are supposed to give the anti-corruption agencies, to be frank with you, sometimes are not coming. But I quite agree with Nigerians, some of the things they perceive, because there are issues that are happening. To be frank, when you look at them, you know that these things are not right. These things are sending bad signal that something is wrong with our system and the processes, which are giving opportunity for corruption to thrive in our system.
Do you feel sometimes frustrated, upset, or you think, well, that notwithstanding, this is a job we have to do for this country, so I will keep going?
Yes, you know, I'm a human being. I feel happy, sometimes I feel sad. But when I was given this job, I made promise that I would do my best. No matter what, I would do my best to try at least to bring change to the best of my ability. And to be frank with you, there are frustrations. It's a fact. I can't deny that because, like I said, the pressure that are coming, they are not easy to handle because we are human beings. You know, and also the positive part of it, there are good Nigerians from all parts of this country that are trying to help us. They are giving us encouragement, do this work from the civil society, from the media too, and also from the international organization. They are giving us courage, even within the government, that let us support you, Chairman, to do this work because we know that what you're doing for the whole country, not for yourself. So that is the positive argument. But there are frustrations, like I said, the issue of pressure, and also sometimes the judicial process too is another area of concern to us because we, the stakeholders within the system, sometimes are not helping matters the way we are doing things in court because it's sending signal to the public that is like we are trying to retard this fight against corruption in this country, which I'm calling on my colleagues that let us look at this issue with patriotism. Yes, we know that we have right to defend our clients, but we need to look at what will be for the overall interest of all of us. And also we, the prosecutors too, we have our own problem too. Also, we need to look at what we're supposed to do, at least change some of the things we are doing. We need to be doing thorough investigation. We're not supposed to be just calling people, you know, let us finish our investigation, have our own facts on ground before we confront you. Because once you finish your investigation thoroughly, when you confront somebody, you even break him because there are facts. If somebody sees, he can't deny them. But when we are pushing for evidence and trying to, you know, people will now be looking at us that it's like you guys are not serious or you guys are not well prepared to tackle this challenge.
Well, I'm just a little, you know, looking at the history of the ICPC and how it has carried out its functions over the years. It seems to have worked more with civil servants, or let's say, civil servants more. I don't want to put public servants. It looks like the EFCC has been focused more on the generality, public servants, civil servants, even the larger Nigerian society. And then also focusing more on preventing corruption than, you know, fighting it or picking it up when it has happened. I don't know what your own strategy, what your approach will be. Is the ICPC restricted just to public servants, or is it something that, you know, can it extend its mandate beyond that particular cadre of people?
Yeah, you know, when you look at the ICPC Act, the way it was, it is largely around public sector corruption, because the mandate is basically preventing corruption in public sector and also around the issue of enforcement. So ICPC as an agency, it doesn't have mandate to go into public issues that has nothing to do with corruption within the public sector. But if any crime which happens that public institutions are involved, corruption, the ICPC as well, but it cannot go purely financial crimes that has to do with private individuals. That's not within our mandate.
So what's going to be your own, what area do you intend to really focus on? I mean, what's going to be the laser focus of your own administration? Your predecessor, you know, he strode ICPC with some sagacity, and he made some, you know, pretty good inroads with the ICPC. I think within the civil service now, there is a certain level of what I say, carefulness, because nobody wants to draw ICPCs. So what exactly will be your own area of focus in terms of trying to fight and stem corruption within our country?
When I came in, I have a policy which I call Care for Impact. The policy is focusing on prevention, but also looking at the enforcement mechanism. Because when you look at the International Convention of Men Against Corruption, the United Nations Convention Against Corruption, it's UNCAC. It was towards putting preventive measures. Because if you allow corruption to happen without putting those mechanisms to prevent them happening, it will be difficult for you to tackle it. So, one, I want to ensure that there are practical measures on ground that will minimize the incidence of corruption. If they happen, then we have to vigorously use the enforcement power to check it. And I look at what the former chairman, the previous chairman did, right from late Honorable Justice Mustafa Akambi to the last chairman, Professor Bolaji Asuni. And I consolidate all what they did. Not a single thing they brought in I jettison. I ensure that all what they brought in, which is in existence, I maintain it. Then now, I will now try to build on it. And in trying to see that we use preventive measures and law enforcement, my key focus is using of technology. Because you cannot fight corruption through traditional means. When you look at the MBS statistics of 2023, it said that why there is a little reduction of corruption is because the federal government was able to use technology like issue of TSA and IPPS. Because once you reduce interface between public servants and citizens, it will drastically reduce bribery and other infractions. So, and even if you are going to investigate, because in technology there are trails, you can be able to follow and look at it. So that's the area where I have been focusing, use of technology, and also the issue of asset recovery. Because that is the key area whereby internationally people are focusing there. Because whether we like it or not, corruption thrives because people want to have gain. And once you deprive them that gain, then you will now make corruption to be less attractive. And also you will use that resources which you deprive them to develop their own infrastructure. So even if you want to go for prosecution, first deprive them with the assets, then you can go after them in a law court processes.
If I could just follow up a bit. Well, we read in different places that some civil servants are frustrating the introduction and use of technology to optimize their functions.
That's true.
Is that okay? Oh, that's true. So what's going on with that?
Let me tell you, and because I had experience, I was Attorney General for 4.5 years. When I was Attorney General, I tried to introduce case management in the Ministry of Justice. It was so frustrating because deliberately you will see that only very people want. Because why? Because they don't want accountability and transparency.
Wow.
Because I can tell you, when I was Attorney General, there were people that they did not complete one task in my entire 4 years I spent. And there are very few people that I can tell you they were overworked. And technology was able to show me, look, this person and that person and that person are not working. So that is why most public servants, civil servants, they will not like technology because they know that technology can be able to measure performance. It can be able to put some checks. So that is why when I can tell you, when I was Attorney General, we have given each and every lawyer in the ministry laptops. And I don't think up to 10% were using those laptops. So government was just spending money to procure all these things. But I don't think you will look at that. People don't like it. They don't want it because of the issue of transparency. Because if there is technology, people will not do certain things they are doing. And with technology, you can be able to track. Let me give you an example. Recently in ICPC, we had made some discoveries about issue of ghost workers. It was technology that was able to tell us, look at this thing that is happening. We discovered somebody was able to enroll his wife, who's not a civil servant, in payroll, his 15-year-old son,
wow,
his in-law. And also there are instances whereby even we discover accounts linked to juristic personalities, that is companies. So, and it is technology that was able to guide us to be able to do these things. So that is why people they will tell you that technology is difficult to use, which is not true. If
they
you
know
want
what
to,
they're doing.
They know. So that is why I want to focus on technology. Because let us move from the traditional way we are doing things, at least let us move to the next level to ensure that this is what I call practical preventive measure. Not always these conferences and talks, yes, they are good, but let us move and see that what we put on ground, they are really bringing change for us so that it will minimize the instance of corruption.
So what lessons, I mean, given the frustrations that you encountered as Attorney General in Jigawa, what lessons will you be bringing to bear, given the resistance you saw to technology in a state, at the state level, that you think that you will be able to surmount at the federal level?
Yes, I think I can. Even there, even though there was frustration, but I was able at least to bring change. I made some people to at least shift on here, because one thing I noticed with Nigerians is that when you are a leader, you look at your body language. If you are serious, they will be serious. But if you are cutting corners, they will cut corners. So the best way is to lead by example, is to ensure that what you are telling them, you are not just telling them for the saying sake. You yourself, you are doing it, and you must keep insisting that people must do the right thing, whether they like it or not. Yes, there will be grumbling. Yes, they will call you names. Yes, they will say that they will prostrate. Yes, but wherever you find in this country, in public institutions, there are good people. And I have seen it. There are good people that are ready to help in this fight and also to make Nigeria good. So what I will do is that I will keep on insisting and pushing up to the time that I will bring the change. I will add up to what my predecessors did.
I mean, we here would also like to be part of that, to ensure that people do the right thing.
That's great.
So whichever way possible, the organization always likes people doing the right things.
Thank you so much.
So if you could talk to us about your project tracking initiative.
Yes.
We understand that that is going on, and there's some, what's going on with that?
Yes. You know, this project tracking which we are doing currently now, we are tracking projects across the constituencies. These are the project constituency and executive project tracking, whereby we are following projects across the country, which we are doing now from December last year to this year. I know that we have tracked about 1,500 projects across 22 states. And in this project which we tracked, the total value, although we are still doing it, the total value of the money is about 613 billion naira.
Wow.
And also, so far, from what we have done between December last year and now, we were able to save federal government substantial amount of money. We are able to save like over 30 billion naira, which if not because of us, the money might have, yes. And also, if you look at the value of the project, because sometimes when you are tracking, you will see abandoned projects or shady execution of projects. All these things that we force contractors to go back to site. The total value of this project, they are about 29 billion 590 million naira, whereby we force the contractors that you have to go back to the site. And the way we are doing it, we use GPS. Wherever we go, those who are tracking, they will take picture, they will send it to us. We will know that, yes, they are at point A, in so-so town, in so-so local government, in so-so states, so that nobody will feed us with wrong data, so that people will not just sit in their homes and be sending us data that are not correct. You have to send us a picture of where you go, and also that GPS will be able to know that, yes, you are in that place. And we made cash recovery of about 500 million so far. 300 billion so far, and also the asset recovery, because sometimes you will find out that tangible properties, maybe motorcycle, maybe sewing machine, all these things. We have recovered this kind of thing of about total value is about 500 million naira. So, and we keep on tracking. And in this tracking we are doing, we have discovered so many things. One, out of mandate projects, you will see a ministry, let's say, ministry dealing with agriculture, but it is now put in street light. You know, or ministry of a parastatal in health sector supplying computer. Or you will see a project of an agency which is supposed to deal with a particular zone, geopolitical zone, but that project will be executed in another zone. You know, and we have been noticing all these kind of things. And also sometimes you will see that some contractors, they divert part of the money, and we force them to refund that money. We look at the project that they did not do it the way they're supposed to. We measure and quantify it and say, okay, you're supposed to refund this kind of money to the government. And why we think this project tracking is important, because it will give government value for money, and also people be able to have good projects that will help them in our life, and also it will help in building infrastructure in this country. So we have been doing these things, and also we carry along the civil society, the media, so that there will be other people that can check us to know that what we are doing have transparency and accountability, so that Nigerians will be able to know this is what we are doing. And we always try to look for people that are in the constituencies to come and see what we are doing, so that they'll be able to know what we are doing. Also, I have to say it, there are members of National Assembly that they will call us. They will say, Chairman, please send me your people to go and see what we are doing, so that we don't have an infraction. While there are those that resist, and there are those that really support us. So that's why we Nigerians, we need to own those projects. It's not for ICPC, it's for all of us. So we need to stand and ensure that all these projects in our own constituencies, in our own areas, we follow them, we ensure that they are executed the way they're supposed to. If those who are supposed to execute, they did not do it, they should report to ICPC. We will go there, because we cannot go everywhere. Like I say, 1,500 projects, we can't track all of them.
Speaking about
at the same time,
contractors.
Yes.
We hear different stories. Sometimes contractors will say, government people give us this job.
Yes.
But they now ask us to pay them 80% of the money up front. And so if they pay them that money, how are we going to do the job? And they say that's why sometimes you see that projects are never completed. Do you have a system? In fact, sometimes they won't even give you the job if you don't agree to pay them up front, either 60, 70 or 80%. Do you have a system in place whereby they can blow the whistle anonymously to say, look, this is what these guys are asking. That's why this job cannot go. Do you have that structure?
Yes. The challenge is that there is this issue of reporting anonymously to ICPC. But the one major challenge we have is that there is no legislation on ground. Which, that's why I have always been appealing to National Assembly. They need to pass whistleblower bill that has been pending before them. Why? Because that will give people the confidence to tell you what is happening. Because if there is no that legislation, people would fear, because they know that something might happen. Sometimes you even receive information, even from the civil servant, they will tell you, in this ministry, this is what is happening. And when you check, you will see it is correct. Sometimes even journalists, they will tell you, Chairman, this thing is happening in this place. And when you look at it, you will see, yes, it is true. Like I said yesterday when I attended the ICR program, there is a journalist who gave us something. When we look at it, in fact, the magnitude of the challenge, it's more than what the information he gave us. So that is why we need that law on ground, so that it will protect people from, attack and all these challenges that will follow.
The Whistleblower Protection Act?
Yes. Yes, we need it on ground. But we have that when somebody supplies information to us, we try to protect his identity, so that we won't allow him to go there. And because of that lack of that law, you will find there are so many challenges. There is one of our people that give us information. He was harassed. In fact, although I can say that the harassment, even us, it is telling toll on us, because in trying to even protect your source, you can never know how the source will, the identity will go on. Yeah. And there's one case, like I said, it has taken my time on trying to resolve it, because those who are involved in that thing, they wrote petitions against me, they wrote petitions against the officials of the commission, all these things.
They started writing petitions against you?
Yes, because that's it.
But you just resumed.
Because that has been the issue.
Who are they submitting the petitions to?
Because they say they will write petition. There is even one that I was taken to the Legal Practitioner Privileges Committee, that because I did something wrong. Because these are the strategies. That because instead of you to do your work,
you'll be distracted.
You will be distracted in. So that is why if there is this whistleblower act on ground, it will help in protecting. Because really it is sad to see somebody will give you information, and at the end of the day will end up protecting himself. There are people that gave information which will make recoveries. But at the end of the day, you will see how they have been harassed within this maybe public sector or even outside. Some of them, not even harassment, it even lead to issue of even their life. That's even threatened. So that is why we are appealing to National Assembly. Let them pass this whistleblower bill before them. It will help us. It will encourage Nigerians to come, because we cannot have all the information. Those who have the information are outside. If they know that there will be protection, they will give us the information.
All right. Aliyu has questions for you. Aliyu, go ahead, please.
Well, thank you, Chamberlain. It's actually related to a number of things as you have said earlier, and I know that Markwa is going to come for me based on this question. The Auditor General's report of 2020 and 2021 is out, and some staggering revelations have also been made, and I don't know where exactly this one is coming from. But the information has it from those reports that contracts worth 167.6 billion naira were not executed by 31 ministries, departments, and agencies within these years. So first of all, I mean, you talked about the fact that people have to go to the field and monitor the activities and all. How do you relate with this? I know that the Auditor General's report is one of the instruments that you use, but sometimes the reports are so backdated. How does that help? What do you think we need to do to either speed up the production of the Auditor General's report? How do we handle this kind of issue?
Yes, I have read the Auditor General's report, and some of the challenges we have seen, we have been looking at them, because I know that in April, because of the report, we have been following some of the infractions that are contained in the report. And I know that from April to date, we have been asking ministries and departments to submit us their own procurement plan, look at their budgets, and also we try to see that our team that are tracking projects to go and verify some of these allegations that are contained in the report. Because like I said, it's not easy for us, we are not many, to go all these places to verify these things at the same time. And that is why we collaborate with the civil society and the media, and also members of the public, that this kind of reports are out. People those who are literate, supposed to look at it and try to see how they can help us. Yes, we are trying to do our work, but also we need people to help us in this. So we are looking at the report and also trying to look at where are the areas that we can come in and use our own enforcement powers, and also to move forward and try to see that we put preventive measures so that this kind of problem will not happen in future.
But, you know, your agency is not the only one that uses this instrument. For instance, we know that the Public Accounts Committee in the National Assembly also uses it. So what's the challenge? Do you smell, you know, collusion that's likely to stave off your own activities in this regard? Because if the Public Accounts Committee is also there to make recommendations and ensure that the needful is done, block all leakages and all of that, is there a challenge in that collaboration? Is there something that needs to be beefed up? So we don't have to be talking about corruption in our country for a while.
Yeah, I think all those critical stakeholders, all of us, we are looking at some of these problems, and also we are in talking with all those that are supposed to be part of it. And recently, myself and the DG of BPP and the chairman of CCB, the NFIU, and even the EFCC are trying to come together to see how all of us can now work in a united front, so that wherever we have strengths, we will use it to try to see that all these challenges that are happening, we minimize them and we block this thing, because the challenge is too many, because we are having over 600 MDAs. And if you look at all of us, I don't think we are more than 10,000 or 12,000. So we have to come together, all of us, to see how can we talk as Nigerians, as those who are in the realm of anti-corruption, to see that we try to come united and to look at all these challenges and confront them head on, to see that we minimize them. That's what we have been doing as of now.
Through the former DG of the Budget Office, Ben Akabweze, he said, we have more than 1,400 ministries, departments, and agencies. And yes, you do have a point there. However, added to that is the question of the level of work you have to do when it comes to the subnationals as well. Does ICPC have influence in working, monitoring the finances and, you know, activities or financial activities or corruption activities at the state level as well?
Yes, at the subnational level. When I come in as chairman of ICPC, I try to see that how can I look at the issues that are happening at subnational. Fortunately, I was Attorney General. So I feel the key individuals that we can fight this corruption are the chief law officers. I reached out to them. I had so many conversations with them individually and collectively. In September this year, we had a conference here in Abuja with 33 state attorney general in attendance, whereby we discussed around corruption at subnational level. And during that discussion we had, we invited Chief Kanu Godwin Agabi, the former Attorney General of the Federation, and also some former Attorneys General, that's those who serve in the civilian regime and also in the military. And my humble self, we sat down together, we discussed, because as a former Attorney General, I know what is happening at the state level, and I know the challenge, and I know what it is, because myself too, I had those challenges. I have seen how fighting corruption at state level is very, very difficult, because if you don't have the governor who has the political will to fight corruption, it will be very, very difficult for corruption to be fought at the state level. And that was why when I talked to my former colleagues, and I told them, look, we are Nigerians, and you are holding a sensitive positions. And there is no better person to lead in this fight against corruption than you people. Because the things that are happening at the state level, you don't need anybody to come and say that falsification of records by public servant is wrong. Leakages that are happening in some places are wrong. Because if you block these leakages, you will have enough resources to work. Unfortunately for us, we all agreed that we have to come together and work. And we agree that we need to go to zones. Last week, we were in Kano, where we had the same engagement with the 7 state attorneys general in Kano, whereby we discussed around corruption, in that zone? And how can we come together and fight it? So that
on that, my apologies for butting in. My sincere apologies for butting in, sir. Do you see the feasibility of ICPC set up at the state level, the way INEC has a state independent electoral commissions? Will it help? You see it happening?
We have state offices. We have offices in 21 states, where we have resident anti-corruption commissioners in 21 states of this country, whereby they have been working there together with civil society and also with other stakeholders to see that we fight this corruption. So it is really helping. But in my opinion, the most important thing for us to fight corruption is not opening offices. Because if we can use technology, we can be able to trail and track money. Because the most difficult thing which we are facing is that the leakages of the money, the diversion, and now the money are in banks. It's not that they are being kept somewhere else. So if we can have robust technology to be able to track what is happening, it will reduce this problem of corruption. But if keeping open offices and employing people, in my opinion, it will not be the solution that we need to have a robust technology. Yes, having offices is good, but without technology, it will be difficult for you to fight corruption even at subnational level.
So just before we go, are you equally, you are also appealing to youths and women,
yes,
to play active role,
yes,
in this? Why that specific about it?
The reason why I have been appealing to youth is that they are the leaders of tomorrow. This year's anti-corruption.
It's the leaders of today.
I say youth are leaders of tomorrow, because some of them they will take over.
Yeah.
And you need to shape them today so that when they are coming to lead this country, they will have the integrity to lead with fear of God and also to bring change. And because they have the energy, and they are the most vulnerable people that are victims of corruption, women and youth. Why? Because if you look at one problem which I notice is unemployment. Most of the victims of job racketeering are youth. Like I said somewhere else, we have been putting the data. We have noticed the trend. We have even identified specific agencies that every day there are some, I don't want to call the name of the agencies, there will never be a day that I will not receive at least 1 or 2 complaints that a staff of that agency has collected money to give employment to a youth, but they convert the money. Even yesterday, I think this week we secure conviction against one of the staff of one of the agencies. So, and for women, if you see how women are suffering, look at the issue of maternal mortality. That people are suffering because of the issue of health. They are the ones that are raising up the children. They are the ones that are taking care of the home. So all the challenges of corruption in this country, they are the more vulnerable people. So that is why I now try to mobilize them, that let us come together, fight this monster, because you are the ones that are more vulnerable. And for youth, you are the ones that have energy. You are the ones that know technology. Social media is there. Use it wisely so that we can check this monster of corruption in this country.
Well, we have to thank you for coming on. Dr. Musa Adamu Aliyu, Senior Advocate of Nigeria and Chairman, ICPC, and former Attorney General for Jigawa. So thank you, and we wish you and your team all the best.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you for coming.
Business Morning comes up now.